Hello everyone, welcome back. So now it's time for the final challenge. Okay, cue Eye of the Tiger theme music. Really should have had that ready. That'd be awesome. Maybe one day. Okay, so this is usually meant to be hard, so if you've tried it and just been like, don't worry, it's okay. After all, this class isn't a programming class. I give you these units, but honestly, the lessons are really, the quizzes are much easier than these lessons. So don't worry, if you've taken the quizzes, you kind of get an idea. But still, try to learn because programming is an amazing skill to have. Okay, so you were a teaching assistant working for a professor named Dr. Carl Danny. Due to an unforeseen accident during a soccer game, your flash drive containing the students' grades was lost. You must now calculate all the students' averages again. Now, this is slightly more difficult, as the professor keeps only the highest 3 grades. Okay, remember that. The professor only keeps the highest 3 grades. So first, we're going to just follow these steps. There's 10 steps. There's so many. It's terrible. But I give you steps for a reason. First, we're going to create a dictionary that will hold the final letter grade for each student. We're going to use the grade scale for our class. Okay, so 10 points. 90 and above A, 80 and above B, so forth, so on, all the way down. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to make something called final letter grade. That's terrible. Perfect. The dictionary is going to hold all of their grades. Now we're going to loop over each student in the gradebook. Now, if you don't remember it, there is a nice little function for dictionaries called keys, which gives you all the keys to loop over. So we're going to use that. Be nice. So we loop over each student in the gradebook. So for student in gradebook dot keys. Okay, I'm in there. My dummy variable, my looping variable is called student, and it should hold all of their names. We're going to create a list variable at the beginning of your loop that will hold the grades to keep. Okay, so grades to keep is equal to this. So I'm going to put all their 3 highest grades into the grades to keep. And we're going to nest a for loop inside to go over each student's grades. Okay, so for grade in gradebook student. So this is a for loop. My dummy variable is going to be called grade, and it's going to go through the gradebook, starting with each person, and it's going to look at their grades. So the first thing it's going to pop out is a 60. It's going to be grade, and then 90 grade, 0 grade, 55 grade, 45 grade, all the way through. The way I'm grabbing that is by looking at the gradebook and putting in the student. First loop gives me the student. Second loop is going to give me the grade for that student. Okay. Now we have to put some if functions there. So if you have less than 3 grades in your grades to keep, add the next grade. So if len, okay, grades to keep, there you go, is less than 3. Well, I can go ahead and add the grade, because you might as well. So grades to keep dot pinned grade. Okay, that worked very nicely. Okay, if you have 3 or more grades in your grade to keep, and the grade is more than the minimum of the grades, you're going to need to drop the lowest grade. Okay, now should this if statement, because you can hear the if at the beginning of that, should be connected to the first one? And the answer is yes, it should, because you only do this one if the first thing is false. Now, in the end, yeah, it's just going to make it easier on us if we make it like that. And if we wanted to, we can even just put it as an else statement. I'm fairly certain. We'll just try as an else statement right here and go from there. Actually, no, there's a lot of, I had to do some logic in there. I had 2 things, so I need to be an else if. Else if len, len grades to keep. I'm having trouble with my typing today, goodness. It's more than or equal to 3. And there we go. Grade more than. Okay, lots there. So what I just did was I said, okay, first off, how many grades do I have? Now, if the first one fails, then we have more than 3 grades, or more than or equal to 3 grades. But I still have to keep that in there. So if I have more than or equal to 3 grades, and the grade is more than minimum grades to keep. So then I'm going to go ahead and add this new grade and drop the lowest. So I'll go ahead and remove the lowest first, and I gave you how to do that right here. This is a nice little snippet of code you can just steal. Boom. And then I'm going to add that new grade. So to keep dot append grade. Okay. So I have all my grades now, and I need to compute the average. So average is going to be equal to sum grades to keep divided by count grades to keep. Sorry, len grades to keep. I apologize, I'll pull in functions from other programming languages sometimes. Count doesn't exist in this. Okay, so that should give me the average. And then we're going to check the average against the grade scale to determine what to put in the final letter grade dictionary for each student. Okay. So how are we going to do that? This is a little bit harder. And what I should probably do is have stuck it something up here that would be like a grade scale. So grade scale, it's going to be a dictionary, and 90 would be an A, 80 would be a B. We'll keep going for a second. 70 would be a C. 60 would be a D. And 0 would be an F. My thought is if they have more than or equal to a 90, they get an A. More than or equal to an 80, they have a B. All the way down. So it should work. We're going to see in a second that this is going to go horribly, horribly wrong. But I'm going to let us make the mistake. Okay. For letter in grade scale, or for cutoff in grade scale dot keys. There we go. So for cutoff and grade scale dot keys, I'm going to go each one in turn. So now I'm going to check to see is their average more than or equal to the cutoff. If it's not, they don't get that grade. So if average more than or equal to cutoff, final letter grade for this student is equal to grade scale cutoff. Okay, so that should put in the letter. And you know what, just to make sure that things haven't gone horribly, horribly wrong, let's print that grade scale at the end. Or sorry, let's print the final letter grade at the end. Okay, I run this. F, 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 F. I feel like some people did better than that. Especially since this guy's top 3 grades are 100, 100, and 100. Probably should have gotten an A. Now, here's what went wrong with this. If you look at this right here, the first thing it's going to check is it more than or equal to a 90? If it is, A. It's going to check, is it more than equal to an 80? But here's the thing. If you're more than 90, you're more than 80. And so it's just going to go down the line and say, well, they get an F. So if I want to do it the way I've done it, just to make it simple, I should reverse this. I should instead start with the lowest grade and work my way up. And I could have also added some extra logic in there just to check and say, if they already have a letter grade, don't give them another one. But I can do it this way too. And so we have D, B, A, and C. Okay, that should be correct. Now, there are a bunch of ways to do this. There's actually a way to do it in like 4 or 5 lines that does everything that we just did here. How? That's for you to find out. You can do it on your own time if you want. I will tell you this, sorting a list is an awesome thing. And you could sort these lists right here and then just take the highest 3 numbers without having to do any of the for loops or if statements. Lots of cool stuff. But hope this helps you. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see all of you next time. Bye-bye.